Who's the kid with the spiky hair? Shobu. Hi there, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Card Game Review. My name's Toxie. Let's get into it. Back in 1999, mangaka Shigenobu Matsumoto came up with the idea of Duel Masters, a manga where a child plays a card game, much like Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 years later, in 2002, Japan would receive its own physical version of the Duel Masters card game, and seeing how popular it got in Japan, we here in America decided to take it for ourselves 2 years later in 2004. Published by Wizards of the Coast. Now the fun thing about this Wizards of the Coast taking the English version of Duel Masters is that Duel Masters was just a Japanese alternative to Magic the Gathering. It had so many similarities to Magic. You play cards using mana, there are 5 different factions that your cards can be from, the whole shablam. Unlike Magic the Gathering, 2 years after Duel Masters came to America in 2006, it was discontinued because it wasn't popular enough. The fun thing about this is, Duel Masters stayed popular in Japan. It was up there with games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. So eventually in 2012, Wizards of the Coast decided, why not? And try again. Wizards marketed the new Duel Masters game under the name Kaijudo, Rise of the Duel Masters, and it had all of the new mechanics that had evolved over time as Duel Masters stayed in Japan, and it came over to astounding applause. And then 2 years later, it got discontinued because it wasn't popular enough. Now, as a child, I liked Duel Masters a lot, and as an adult, seeing that Duel Masters has returned as Kaijudo is a little bit weird. But I did get a copy of Bolshak Dragon for less than $1, which was pretty cool. To scope for you how unpopular Kaijudo was when it ended in 2014, this deck that I have right here that I'm going to be showing you today, I got from a set that came with 2 decks and 4 booster packs. And it cost me $3 to buy from Walmart. The weird thing is, you'd think Kaijudo would be better selling than Duel Masters. I mean, like I said, it was just a different version of Magic the Gathering, and Kaijudo itself was just like faster than Duel Masters, and it felt better to play than Duel Masters, and the new mechanics really added a lot to the game. So let's go ahead, dissect this card game, and see if we can figure out what went wrong. Kaijudo is played with a 40 card deck, which consists of 2 types of cards, creatures and spells. And fortunately for us, Kaijudo is easy, so we only need to look at one spot of the card, and that's going to be the upper left-hand corner of the card. Here you will find the creature's level and the creature's civilization. The level acts as the cost for the creature. That's how much mana you're going to pay to play that creature or spell. As for the civilization, out of the mana that you spend to cast whatever your cards you're playing, you need at least 1 card that matches the civilization of the card you're trying to play. On the lower left-hand corner of creature cards, there is a power value. This is going to be the attack value that matters when one creature attacks and another creature blocks, which we'll get into in just a moment. And there we go. Simple. So let's go ahead and see how the game plays, and we'll be right back. So this is going to be your standard Kaijudo playmat that you get with your Kaijudo deck. And as you can see, it's got a lovely little turn order thing here, just so we always know what the turn order is going to be like. Down here in the little green section, you have your mana zone. So all the cards that you're going to be using as mana are going to go down here at the bottom. Up here in the red, we have our battle zone, where all of our creatures and spells are going to go when we cast them. This little middle part is your shield zone, and your shield act as your life. Now to start the game, we're going to take the top 5 cards of our deck and we're going to put them into our shield zone. And those make up our shields. Then we're going to pick up the next 5 cards and put them into our hand. Now, if we're going first, we can go ahead and take a card from our hand and choose to put it into our mana zone. If we have enough mana in our mana zone to play a card for its cost, we're going to go ahead and tap that mana by turning it to the side and play our card in the battle zone. If it's a spell, the card will go right into the discard pile after its effect is over. If it's a creature, it'll stay out onto the battle zone until it's destroyed. When a creature is put out onto the battlefield, it cannot attack the turn that it is summoned because it has summoning sickness. If we can attack, we tap a creature as we attack with it to let the opponent know that we are attacking. If we have multiple creatures out, we choose the first creature to attack with, wait to see if our opponent responds, and then once the damage is done with that creature, we move on and tap the next creature to attack as well. If an attack goes through and isn't blocked, one of the shield cards gets destroyed. If you're attacking and your opponent has a creature on their side of the field, your opponent can choose to block your attacking creature. Then, the power of each creature will be weighed against one another, and the creature with the lower power will be destroyed. If we can't play anything else, we end our turn. And then, at the beginning of the next turn, we untap everything on our field, and we draw an extra card. The game ends when one player has no more shields and gets attacked directly. And there we have it, the basics of Kaijudo. Super simple, super easy to play. Definitely, as you can see, just an easier form of Magic for kids with an anime if you'd like to watch it. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, what do I think of Kaijudo Rise of the Duel Masters? Well, first let's go ahead and take a look at affordability. Cards for Kaijudo, like I said, because they didn't get popular, they're fairly cheap. Getting a deck of Kaijudo, if you were to try and get one on eBay or somewhere, generally will run you around $10 to $15, unless if you want you can get a dual deck which comes with 2 decks, and that'll be around $25 to $30. Generally speaking, it seems to have retained kind of a normal card game price point. You might be able to get lucky and get some stuff for a lot cheaper. A lot of the single cards that I've seen are generally pretty cheap. I've seen 1 or 2 that are kind of expensive, and by expensive I mean like, $30, $50. Not crazy expensive like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be, but still pretty expensive for the normal person. Other than that, if you'd like to get into this game and don't want to spend money on it, there used to be a Kaijudo online game. I can't really find it right now. If I can find it while I'm uploading this video or editing it, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description below, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like you can play it, which sucks. It definitely sucks. And Kaijudo does seem very easy to get into. As you saw during the gameplay, there weren't a lot of steps to playing. Definitely just a really toned down version of Magic the Gathering. Very simple, very easy. Most of the cards, if they have effects, the effects will have reminder text just to tell you what they do. It doesn't seem often, as far as I've seen, that an effect won't have reminder text to tell you what to do, which I think is good, especially when your effects are super simple things like Double Break, which lets you break through 2 shields when your attack gets through. Is this game fun? I can't say. I haven't played it. I did play Duel Masters back when I was a kid. I thought Duel Masters was a lot of fun, but that was also me as a child playing. I don't know how I'd feel about it today. I definitely do feel like I would personally have fun with Kaijudo, but because there's so many mechanics that are kind of hard to get your hands on in the English TCG, if you are an English-speaking player, I should say English-based player, if you're in one of the Western countries and your main language is English, then it might be hard to get some of the cooler cards that you see in English print. Overall, I feel like Kaijudo is a fun game if you're just, a casual card game player. You just want to have a bit of fun and you don't want a game that goes on too crazy long. It's up there with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Chaotic and some of those other shorter card games, in my opinion. Now, how would I rate this game? This is kind of a weird game for me to rate because, like I said before, I haven't played it. I can't really get a good grasp on how much fun I think I would have with it. I think a safe way to go would be give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a game that seems like it would be a lot of fun to play. It's very easy to get into, and like I said before, the price point isn't too high, but if you're trying to get into it, it might be a little hard to get cards. But there we have it, Kaijudo. We can go ahead and wrap this one up, I think. Not a lot to talk about in this one. This should be a short video, I hope. I said the Magic video was going to be short, and it turned out to be the longest card game review that I have. But tell me what you thought of Kaijudo. Did you used to play Duel Masters when you were a kid? If so, how does Kaijudo make you feel, having all of the new mechanics that Duel Masters got that we never saw, as well as being faster to play and easier to play than Duel Masters was? I really hope you all enjoyed the video. I am very close to getting some very big projects done. I'm also conceptualizing some other projects which I can talk about at a later date. But until then, have a great day, and until next time, drink your water.